So I am been wrapping up, trying to get ready for the winter. We have frost warning for tonight. I threw this thing up over my loofah plant. You can see how many sponges are growing. They're just everywhere now. It's funny how they just all of a sudden seem to appear with these big old leaves. The canopy kind of fools you into thinking there's not much going on here, but they're just all over this thing. So I don't know if we get a frost tonight, if this will help or not, but hopefully. You know, I'm looking at the weather forecast. There's another one down there. The weather forecast is saying we're probably going to get frost tonight, and then we'll be above freezing for, I don't know, 10 days or a little more, hopefully. This is about the only plant I'm really concerned about. We've had enough tomatoes to, like, more than we know what to do with. Robin has been canning and doing all kind of stuff. I got some more mulch. It's just some wood chips I got from the town transfer station. And I don't know, I got kale growing over here. It's got a ways to go, but I might throw something. It'll survive pretty cool weather. And I built my little shed, my little wire fence around it, so the rabbits. I don't really have a good, easy way of covering these eggplants up and peppers, but I do have some crop covers. I may just throw it over there tonight if the wind dies down. Otherwise, it's just hard to keep on there. You can see the apples. Still quite a few apples on the trees here. Really big crop of apples this year, more than we could pick. I got a few watermelons left out in the garden. This green that are growing up here is canola. Didn't get a really perfect stand, but that'll be nice. The bees like the flowers that canola produces, and it also does a good job, supposedly, of, you know, going deep down in the taproot is formed, and it helps bring up nutrients from the soil. And it'll be a good cover crop. If I would have got a better stand, it would have been a great cover crop. Of course, the blackberries are out of control. Hopefully all this growth will turn into gazillion blackberries next year. I never did get any irrigation going. I'm gonna have to roll this thing back up and put it away. There's no need of leaving it out. It's for drip irrigation. Still got a pond to finish. Hadn't done anything on that. That's Nathan's project. The raspberry plants are looking pretty good, but I gotta finish the trellis work on that. Finish up the shed. I do want to do a little work on the door. Maybe put some kind of little overhang so water won't drip down on there and freeze everything up, all the gears and stuff. Chickens and ducks are all together now. They're living in this little, all the ducks are in this little coop. The little ones and the big ones. The little ones are about as big as the big ones, so it's not much different than them now. There's some of them over there. That's all the smaller ducks, but they're not as small as they used to be. And there's the 4 big ducks, 2 boys and 2 girls. They keep them a little separate, but they don't pick on each other like they used to. So that's good. Let's see. I've been doing a little work on the bees. Oh, you can see. Let me get over here. I've been feeding sugar syrup to the bees. If you saw my last video, all 3 of these hives have hive top feeders on them now, and I closed up the entrances. It's just a real small entrance now. All the bees have to go in and out of a small area. Supposedly that helps on other bees coming in and robbing. If the robbers have to go through a real small, you know, one little bitty entrance like that, it's easier to defend that hole than a big wide open gap at the front. But you can see how active they are today. They're really getting it. And another thing I did, I added a feeder over here just a couple hours ago, and they may have not found it yet. But this is just a kind of a protein supplement feed. nobody's in there yet. It's just a mixture of like a cornmeal and some kind of flour. I think it's and I can't even remember what it is. Some odd flour I found. Had a lot of carbohydrates in it. And some yeast, a few other things. A few more flour still going. Bees are really, it's good to see the bees active. Let me see if they're bringing any pollen in or not. I don't want to get too close. They're kind of crazy acting today. The two hives on the left, the kind of yellowish looking boxes, are pretty strong. This first hive has been having some problems. But they're still in there working. Hopefully they'll be alright. That's the little feeder I had bought. And it was just, it was too much work. I was always, every day they would run out. So I mean, I've used this hive top feeder. I can put a couple of gallons of that syrup in each one. And supposedly about, if they convert for 3 or 4 gallons of sugar syrup per hive, that'll be enough to get them through the winter. But I'll be feeding them later on with some, they call it candy. It's kind of like a fondant. You can feed the bees when it's, you know, really winter time. And I've got some more work to do as it gets colder. I'll block up the bottom of this base here just to kind of protect them from wind, and I'll make sure that the hives are wrapped, but they also have to have some ventilation, so I don't want to shut it up completely. So that's some more work I got to do. So here's my little patch of crimson clover. That'll doesn't look like much now, but come May or something like that, it'll really start to turn pretty. The Mexican sunflowers and the zinnias are still. I've got a few flowers on there. I need to collect some of those seed heads. I want to make sure I get my seed for those again to plant next year. I really like those. Both those flowers together really do a good job. My compost bin is pretty much full on this side, and I got a new one I just put together. I'll start filling that one up soon, I think. I don't know. I got a lot of room left in this one. But it keeps compacting itself. But I want to, once I get it up to a certain level, I want to cover it and then switch to the next one and then start filling it up. I probably generated enough thistle seed for the whole town of Groton right here. I don't know what I'm going to try to keep those down more manageable. I've been harvesting. You saw the sunflower harvest. We hadn't been back out to do another harvest, but Jonathan and Jackson and me got together and we boiled, or we baked some of the sunflower seeds with salt. The boys had fun doing that and eating those, so we'll get some more of those going soon. But the majority of these are for the chickens. And you can see here the gray striped sunflowers. These are looking good. The chickens are hoping I would knock one down for them. I guess it wouldn't hurt. I'm giving us a little one here. And you can, I'll be picking all those seeds out in no time. You can come back 10 minutes and there won't be a single seed left in that head. I think the coop's all ready for winter. Nothing happening. I don't think I have to do anything special here. Kind of dreading, you know, taking care of the water and everything. Chickens are laying. They're down to about a dozen eggs a day or a little more, not much more than that, but I'm not going to argue. Not going to complain about that. Got a few things to pick up. We're going to have a cleanup day here in a little bit, next week or two, I hope. All of us get out here in the yard and just kind of straighten everything up. Got to do that up here because once it starts snowing, you'll lose everything out in the snow and it'll just sit there all winter. So I gotta fill up the shed. Might probably build some shelves and stuff. Hadn't really done anything on the inside of the shed yet since I finished it. Just kind of moved a few things in there, but Got the big lawnmower in there and a couple of things, but that's it. A lot more work to do there. These apples are looking pretty good. Both these bigger, older apple trees here did really good this year. And man, I just couldn't keep up with them. They're all over the ground. And this little pear tree did nice. Boys like these pears. They look like they're all gone. That's another thing I got to do. I've got to start pruning a lot of these limbs off these trees before winter. Best time to do it. But you can see these apples. These are great apples. That's a nice, really nice looking apple. That is the beginning of the tree house I've been promising the boys. So that's where that's going to be. I had my flag, I had dropped a plumb line, and Max came out here the other day and moved it, so I got to restart that project. I'm gonna build. I'm gonna put a couple of posts in the ground out here to act as the other legs, and then that'll be the main floor. There's gonna be some stuff coming off of this. I got it all in my head. I just gotta do the work now. Swing set, climbing wall, all that kind of stuff coming off of there. The majority of these flowers down here are cosmos, and they have just bloomed and bloomed and bloomed and bloomed. They're really pretty. This is just on that side of the hill where the septic is. Up there's a couple of bees trying to get on that flower there. A bumblebee and a yellow jacket on there with him. And some other little bitty bee right there on the edge. I don't know what that is. There he goes. So there's 3 bees on that flower. Another bumblebee flying around. This was just a mix of flowers I'd planted back in the early summer. I had buckwheat down here on the bottom. That's all gone. And you can see this clover growing here. I got to show you all these bees here. I just saw 4 bees. Pretty cool. I love to see all the bees out here. But this clover that you see here, I planted just a strip of it across the top here. This is yellow sweet clover. It's a biennial. It will not seed this. It doesn't flower this year. It'll come up tall next year, 4 or 5 feet tall with these spiked yellow flowers. And this is a really good stand of it. It goes all the way around this hill, and that should be good and pretty and be a good backdrop for whatever flowers I come up with on the side of the hill. I don't know if all of these, a lot of these cosmos and things that we planted here will reseed themselves. I don't know how good a stand we'll get. Plenty of weeds that they had. A pile of wood that I chopped and split back last winter. I'll start moving that toward the house. I have a fire in the morning where I do my wood splitting. This was all the big pieces that I could not split last winter. It was just the axe would bounce off. So just stacked them up and left them out here, and I took one out the other day, and as you can see I can now split it. So I'll get this stuff split up now maybe and get ready for some more logs to come in and start all over. I have a pile of windows here. They're like sliding glass door windows and things, and I hadn't decided. I was thinking about making some kind of big old cold frames or a little mini greenhouse or something, but I hadn't done much with that yet. The baseball net batting cage, I've got to take that thing down before we start getting snow. I had these 3 big cracks in the driveway. Cleaned those out last week or 2 weeks ago. Filled them up. Didn't do a perfect job, but it'll work. Pumpkins. A great crop of pumpkins this year, as you know. Robin did this little flower garden up here front of the house on the north side. Really, it was pretty. She had a lot of coleus in the background, some sunflowers, just different things there. Arcusa dogwood is not one of Nathan's favorite trees, but maybe I can trim it up and keep it. We'll see. That's a pile of kindling that I have underneath there, and some drainage pipe. I need to dig a hole, ditch. There's an area of the yard right coming in the door there by the steps there by that concrete wall. It had a pond of water. We was going to see if we could use that stuff to drain. This part of the yard I tilled up, and I planted a lot of crimson clover again all through here, just as a cover crop. Hopefully in the spring it'll kind of keep everything down. But I also planted a bunch of echinaceas here that my sister-in-law gave us, and some black-eyed Susans. And I planted some lupin seeds right in here somewhere, but I don't see a single one of them coming up. I didn't get any, so I don't know what we'll do. I want to have flowers in this corner here, and then the rest of this part we're going to try to do the pumpkin patch over here on this side of the hill this year, next year. 2020 pumpkin crop will be in that area. A lot of good apples back here again. And I can see from the wind blowing my little plastic thing around that it may not be the best plan for the lupus, but so far so good. I hope the wind will calm down a little bit tonight. It won't be so bad. I can tie it down, tighten it up a little bit before dark. Ready to start filling up my third compost bin up here. Stink bugs. Those are stink bugs. They're everywhere this year. Good crop of stink bugs.